Hi user, welcome to my channel Learning with Khatak. In this short today tutorial, we want to just show that how a variable is stored inside a computer memory, and if you want to print and if you want to show the address of that particular variable inside the memory, then how we will do that. So let me show one thing more important. If I declare a variable int n, and now I am going to just display this variable. So if I look at this, if I run this program, that will give me simply an error. What is the error? Error is this: uninitialized local variable n is used. So keep in mind one thing: if you are going to use a variable without initialization, the compiler will simply signal an error that you can't use a variable before declaring it. So here I just declare the variable. In this line I am going to use this variable, means I want to just show the value of n, yeah, or just want to display the n. So in this case, compiler will complain, will signal an error that you cannot use a variable before using a variable, before initializing a variable. So if I now initialize this variable, n is equal to 25. Now if I run this program, there will be no error, and then this will give me just 25. So this is very important thing most of the people forget about, that we must initialize a variable before using it. So now I want to show how this variable n is stored inside a computer memory, and if you want to display its address, then how this address will be displayed. So if I want to show you practically, this is a variable name int n. So when a variable is declared and assigned to a value, four fundamental attributes associated with it. What is it? Its name? Yes, the name of variable is n. Its type, the type of variable is of integer type, means we can store integer value inside the n. Its value, content, what are the value? 25. And then its address, and then how the address will be look like. If we think this is a memory, then this is the value of variable n is equal to 25, and how this is stored, this is basically called, the addresses are in a hexadecimal form. No, we know that integer variable required 4 bytes of memory. So if you look at this, byte 0, byte 1, byte 2, and byte 3. So here 24 is stored. Keep in mind that whenever we are going to declare a variable, the compiler randomly select a memory cell inside the computer memory and labelize this cell. If you look at this, this is the cell. Here compiler labelize this cell with the label n at a particular address of this. So if you look at the address, this is the hexadecimal address, and the zeros show the starting byte of the memory cell. So how this program will be implemented? If you look at this, I'm simply writing cout using the ampersand operator, and then n. So let me show the clear cut message, cout end line, and then the address of variable. Okay, now this is the value of variable, and now what actually we are going to do here, we declare a simple variable and then print the value of the variable. Here in this case I am using I used an ampersand sign to display the address of the variable n. So now if we display, if we run this code, so look at this, this is the value of variable is 25, and the address of variable is 00A Basically this is a hexadecimal address, which show that that particular variable is stored at this address. This, the last C is basically a ASCII value of a character. Now one important thing should be keep in mind: if I stop the execution and I run the program again, it will be stored somewhere else. If we look at the address, the previous address is different from this one. Why? Because whenever a program execution is terminated here, Okay, let me show one thing. Yes, whenever a program terminates, the all the local variables declared inside the program will be deleted from the memory. So for the third time, or for the even for the second time, if you want to run this program, the compiler will select another memory cell. If you look at this now, this is another memory cell. So every time you are going to run your program, different variables inside the program will store at different locations of the memory. But important thing should be like that, noted like that, that whenever you declare a variable, this simple declaration is an instruction for the compiler. The last line is basically the declaration of a variable that go to the memory and reserve a space of 4 byte for integer variable n. So four things should be keep in mind whenever you are going to declare a variable: its name, what is the name, you must know the naming rules of a variable, and then its type, what are the types. In this case it's integer, its value, content, because without its value you cannot use this variable inside your program, and then the specific address inside the memory. So thank you very much for this short tutorial.